This is the HiFi Rose RS150. I get excited about a lot of kit, but I'm particularly excited about this one. Let's take a look around it and I'll explain some, probably not all, of what it does, because it does a lot.
Songs as well, so whatever you're up to this Saturday, have a fab.
So, I've had this for around 2 hours in total, so you're going to learn on the fly with me, because I've not read any of its instructions or anything. I like to just jump in, probably ruin a few things, then probably fix a few things, and then I'll read the book, but time is of the essence, isn't it? Yeah, so this is a demo unit that's been lent to us for the weekend. Ours turn up on Monday. We've got this one, we've got the RS201, which is a little streamer amplifier. It's a different level of kit with a completely different purpose, but we'll show you that one as well. Yeah, what an amazing piece of kit. Look at this display. Turn it on. It boots up really quickly, actually. That's the Rose logo there. And you've got all your apps on, things like Qobuz, Roon, Tidal. It has a thing called Rose Tube, which is effectively YouTube. It just sorts out sort of SQ and music videos and stuff like that are of a good quality, and you can rifle through them. And there's a 4K HDMI Arc Output, so you can play them on your sort of cinema at home or your TV or whatever, however you do what you do. As I've explained, this is a DAC. It's primarily a streamer. It's a DAC and a preamp, so you can use this with power amplifiers, which is probably how I'll end up using it. At the moment, we're using it as a source with the Hagel H390, just because we know that system very well, and I want to see how this product sounds. AirPlay and everything is enabled, so you can use it like that. That's probably how I would use a product like this at home. You just sort of get in, walk through the door, press play, and off you go. That said, there is a notable difference between AirPlay and using its sort of native app. So using Tidal directly to this and using the app on your phone to control this, it's a large step. You'd have to try it yourself, you know. Yeah, so this video could be hours long. There is so much that it can do. I'm just going to focus this time around on the simple stuff that I would probably think that most people will use it for. But first things first, what I wanted to do, like I say, I'm learning on the fly. I'm pretty sure we can see the back of this unit by pressing this without having to turn the unit around. Hopefully you can get a good view of that. This gives me a decent indication to explain to you on the video what's on the back. HDMI, USB in here for, which I would assume would be your computer, so an asynchronous USB input. It's USB-A, presumably to C at the computer end. Analog line-ins, coaxial line-in, optical input, ARC in for coming from the TV to this product. So you can come from your TV and everything, all the sound your TV makes will go into this and out to your amplifier and it will play. Now that's how I use my system at home quite a lot. Regardless of listening to music on it, which I do a lot, everything that comes through my TV comes through the system as well. So HDMI ARC input is a massive thing for me on an amplifier, and I believe that now anything with a DAC inbuilt should have an HDMI ARC inbuilt. Yeah, and then HDMI out for if you just want to use this for its YouTube or its Rose Tube output capabilities, that's fine. USB output, I'm not entirely sure what we would use that for. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to, I'll probably put in some sort of description. Let's have a look at its settings. Please select a USB DAC. Okay, so we can go digital out of this to a different DAC. We probably won't want to do this because the DAC inside the unit is tip top. I'll show you the specs in a minute, and I'll link to the specs below. Yeah, and then we've got balanced outputs. We've got there's things that aren't on this picture that are actually on the back, so I may as well show it around there. But you know, you've got your normal network input, things like that, and then your unbalanced and balanced outputs. And then a bunch of other gubbins here, which I can't really, you know, you've got optical outputs, coax outputs, things like that. A lot of stuff that I would probably not ever really use, but it's got it and it's in there. Right, to go home, every time you're in a menu like this and you're a little bit lost and you don't know what to do, press home and back you go. One particular thing I found quite cool, it's gimmicky, but it is there, and it's Korean at the moment, but is the radio and how it allows you to sort of dial in stations and things like that from an analog point of view. Turn it on, it should pick. So that's its sort of sound tuning, and then it should lock on and play something. There we go. Yeah, so that's that. We'll turn that off, and you know, you've got things like dimmer and stuff like that that you can turn on and off. Turn the actual radio itself off, go home. Yeah, and then all sorts of other things, like probably my favourite bit is that you can come into here, you can go into the display, go into VU mode setting, and you can just pop on a set of old school, you know, VU meters. So when you've got something playing, so when you go into say Tidal or something like that, which you can do all of this from your app, but you know, if you were to, you know, press play on that and then leave it for a few seconds, you'll find that the VU meter will just come up. I don't know how long that's going to take, so I don't want to play this track for too long before it does, but I'll add a section of that into the video so you can see what it looks like with a glass screen with two sort of VUs in there. I just don't want to get another strike from YouTube. So yeah, I mean, it's a joy to delve into in terms of using it for what it does, or what you're not going to use it for, what you are going to use it for. It's a bit of a pleasure to use, really. I can't stop touching it, but yeah, this is its sort of rose tube, and it gives you all of these sort of, it hands you off all these sort of videos. So I'll come out of here again because I don't want to, yeah, so pleasure to use. I'm going to listen to it for a little bit, and then I'll show you some more details. I'll give you a couple of little geeky bits, but the rest I'll give you links to down the bottom. But this, you know, this is here now. Ours turn up on Monday, and we'll then have, you know, we'll have stock of the HiFi Rose RS150, which is just great news. What a wicked product. What products like this do for the hi-fi industry is they shift the whole bar has to move, because everyone should be sort of on that, you know, sort of streaming and digital bandwagon. It is definitely the future for me, and has been for some time. You know, it's the reason why I'm such a huge fan of the Hagel amplifiers is because of their sort of forward thinking. But yeah, let's have a look around it. We'll do a little bit more talking, and then I'll stop boring you. You can go and enjoy your weekend. So yeah, what a wicked piece of kit. I've been mucking around with it for a little while off camera, probably only half an hour. I just was trying to get and keep the white VUs on the front of it. Just why not? There's something somewhat of a paradox having the VUs playing on the front of what's possibly the most advanced piece of kit in here, really. I'm just using the app, so that's the tidal sort of skin in the app. One thing I don't like about a lot of streamers is how wildly they change your apps when you're forced to use their software for streaming. This seems to be, I mean, that looks like Tidal to me. It's not alien. You don't have to learn a whole new way of, you know, listening to your music. So I like that. What you can do, if you want to control it from here as well, you can just pop the controller button on the top right there, and it gives you all of the things that you would need to get out of or into other settings, and then you can go into the excuse me, the actual settings of the product as well. So, you know, you can change all of the features and stuff without ever having to touch it. A lot of what I can expect people will ask is, because it's got such a high-tech sort of touchscreen, is whether you have to approach it every time you want to do something. And no, you don't. It works like any other streamer would if it didn't have any buttons on the front at all, and you could control it, all of it, via its app. You will want to touch the front of it. It's incredible to the touch. It is just a 14.9-inch capacitive. I don't actually think it is capacitive. They seem to mention some other sort of technology in here. It says that the 201 is capacitive, and the 150, the RS150, is a wide HD IPS touchscreen LCD. I haven't got a clue what it is. I'm not on here to be you know, I hope you get the gist of that by now. I'm not some tech maniac. I just love the stuff. It feels wicked. It's really responsive. One notable thing for me as well, you expect something that does so much to have a glitch here or there. Now, there's the odd Korean thing, because it's a Korean product. There's the odd, like the radio, the analog looking radio is fixed to that zone at the moment. That's probably going to be me not knowing how to use the unit. So I will forgive it of little things like that right now. I need to go away and do more homework and figure this out until till I can confidently answer any question that might come my way. You know, it's how we sell our products. Have to be confident with it, you know. So other eeky tweaky stuff, I'm going to link you to this, which is the comparison sort of press between the RS201, which is this, which is the little one, which we'll unbox now, and the RS150. Bit strange that the higher the unit, the lower the model number, as you don't often get that, but yeah, it is what it is. The important things for me in this are probably not what you're expecting a video about this to be about. All of the things it can do, and how it's ruined this, and it's Spotify that, and it's 60 million pixels this on its HDMI output. It's not necessarily about that for me. What I like in a product is simplicity. I've had streamers in here that aren't here anymore that I can't get off the ground after 2 hours of setting up. How are we meant to confidently give that to a client of ours and back it, you know, when we know they're going to have hell trying to set it up? Anything like that won't last in here. This, you know, I turned it on. Technically, you could say I'm playing it in the wrong way. I'm not right now, but when I turned it on and had it connected to the network, which was a Breeze, I AirPlayed straight to it. So I had music in probably under 5 minutes with a new piece of kit. That's, you know, especially one as sort of technical as this. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, that's my sort of why I'm impressed by it. It's just its simplicity. Something that can do this much shouldn't be that easy to use, and for some reason, between the app and the operating system on the unit itself, they've really managed to come up with something quite special and something quite usable for, I would say, any tier of enthusiast through to pro. It's just going to be a very simple thing to use. One thing that people will like as well, the sort of geekier amongst us will like its Android platform and the way that, you know, I'm not too sure on its sort of open sourceness, but there may well be things that you can delve into on this that you're locked down with in any other hi-fi realm, if you know what I mean. So you can really play with it. Customizable as well. I mean, I've got the white VUs on. That's a bit of me. I wouldn't put blue on it. I'm not trying to make it look like something it isn't. You know, you can simple things like changing the clocks, changing the skins, changing the buttons or the visualizations of the buttons and the way that they appear on the screen. You can muck around with all that and really make it fit in with your system, you know. So £3,899. It's a relatively mid-bracket, verging on the expensive side streamer. When I got it out and the guy's shown it to me, I had no idea. I've seen the product times before because of certain press releases and stuff, but I've never really looked into it. I've just known that I wanted to get my hands on it, and I'll make my own sort of judgments from there. You know, I didn't want to have any preconception of what it was. So when they showed it to me and we got it out of the box and lifted it onto the rack and plumbed it all in, and you know, plumbing it in a balanced nature and stuff, everything feels very high end. The aluminium top plates, the embossing in the top plate, the sides, like the heat sinks and stuff, that it all feels super high end. I had a feeling we were about to spend £9,000 to £10,000. We were going to buy it regardless. You know, it's an incredible piece of kit. I was ecstatic when they told me that it was that price point. Now that's just, I know that might seem complacent, but it's not that we've got all the money in the world to throw around, and I don't expect everyone else to. It's just that when you think something is worth so much more than it is, and then you're told it's a lower value, it could be £50 to £10 or £10,000 to £3,000. You know, the value goes through the roof, in my opinion. So yeah, I've no need to justify its price. I think it's incredible that it's priced. Like I say, I thought it was a lot more expensive than it is. So yeah, its little brother, the 201, is here, and I'll put this. I'm going to show you this right now as a little sneak. Again, this is one we managed to pry off of the distributor because I wanted them relatively quickly to show you guys. I persuaded him to keep it here, so for me to keep it here until ours turned up. So, quite a simple thing to unbox, he says as he unboxes it upside down. This is the 201. So that unit is an 8.5, I think, capacitive, 8.8 TFT LCD capacitive touchscreen. Looks pretty similar to this, like, you know, the apps, it's just smaller and in a central row, and I'm sure you can customize it the way you can. But this is a different product for me. Sits in a different place in the market. This is an all-in-one box. That's a high-end streamer, so that fits in your system. This is your system. This is a smaller system, quite not basic, but quite a simple one-box solution. Add passive speakers because it's amplified. So it has a network streaming capability, USB ins. It has HDMI, but it's not ARC, so that's out. So you can't do what I was saying earlier, whereas you can play your TV into it and then through to your amplifier. Preamp output, so you could put a big old monster power amp on the end of it if you wanted, if the preamp stage is as good as we'd like it to be. I can't confidently tell you because I've not heard it. But yeah, different product, sits in a different place for me. This is a single box product, passive speakers, office system, kind of lounge system if you're a little bit less serious about hi-fi, but gorgeous fit and finish. It's much lighter than that, of course. aluminium top plate, one piece aluminium top plate and face. This joystick, I have no idea what it does. But yeah, we'll plug this one in, we'll do a different video. All right, that is the HiFi Rose RS150. I think it's a stonker, and it's here, and you're now able to come here and play with it. Come and poke your fingers on it, and we can sign into your stuff. You can listen to your own music, and we can also experience the differences about the way that we stream. When we stream from our phone via AirPlay, which is great, it's convenient, and it's not sort of MP3, or well, unless you're streaming Spotify or stuff like that. But when you're streaming direct and you're controlling it with your phone, the difference is huge. Yeah. So yeah, £3,899. It's the price, and I think it's a cracking box at that price. Anyway, I'm Carl. This is Studio in Car, and I hope you have a nice week or weekend. I'm off to Peppa Pig World tomorrow, which will be bloody wonderful, I'm sure. Take it easy, guys.